let's hope it is going to work the way it should. Let me just check on the second source, and we're going to start soon. So let's see how it goes. Oh, hello, we have somebody watching. That's great. If you can, give a shout on Facebook that we are starting, and give a shout on Instagram. So this is going to help. So more people is going to see it. And remember, thumbs up are helping as well. So we are getting more visible. Oh, hello, Nunu. You are quick. Did you finish? If you can, please send the link to Finnabair and Friends Open Studio. Send the link to Art Collective for patrons. And send to Create with Prima. And to Redesign with Prima. So it will be just so much easier to find us. Hello, hello. Good to see you. I'm absolutely happy to be here with you. I have to do something with this part of my studio. I just have no time to paint it, but let's ignore it. So I'm going to be here with you today, and we are going to do a little bit of altering. Hello, hello. It's great to see you all. I just have to set up my second screen so I can see you. Yes, Debbie, you did it. Yes, you are here. Hello, Anat. Thank you so much for joining. So it will be really, really helpful if you can give a shout that we are starting on Instagram, on Facebook, in the groups. Maybe let's give us about 5 minutes for the warm-up, and we are going to start properly, okay? Where is... Oh, here. Okay, I can see this one. There's a little bit of a lag, but it does work. Okay, we have 30 people already, 31. Hello, Anastasia. Good to see you. So I will put it in a safe place where I can see the screen. Oh, thank you. My new hair from the hairdresser before Christmas. I had that part done with a bit of color to make it a little bit more cheerful. Hello, Asha. Hello, everybody. And I hope you're going to have a little bit of fun with me today. It's not exactly new color because this all is my natural color and I just repeated to cover the gray hair. But this is a bit of the highlight that I have. Just to make something happen on the other side. So I really like it. Hello, hello, Anika. Good to see you guys. Thank you for sharing. This really helps because people can see what is going on. I know it is not so easy with Facebook and Instagram because when you post information, they cut your visibility quite a lot as well in those days. So sometimes you just miss the information that there was something going on. Hello, hello. I'm glad to see you. So, yes, violet or purple sounds exciting. You have to talk to your hairdresser because I know certain colors are going to stay better than others. I had some experiment before and that should be just different shade of brown, but it started to come off and I had it turquoise for some reason for some time. It was different. It was different. I am not against turquoise, it's just this was not expected. So luckily we don't go too much anywhere, so I didn't have to worry about that part. So how are you doing before Christmas? I know some people are really getting into Christmas preparations early. And I was thinking, if I want to do something still in the Christmas mood, I have to do it quite quickly, because just close to Christmas, people are going to be too busy. And that's why this weekend I'm going to do three things. One, today, open for everybody, we're going to play with reindeers and friends of the reindeers. I'm going to show you some options. How can you transform cooking mania? Exactly. It's a Polish disease, I think. We have that. It's in the genes. Like, once we start cooking, we can't stop. So I will try to give you some options, but you can use these techniques or any other object. I just want to start your creativity and to give you some ideas what you can do. We're going to do alteration of the reindeer. So we are going to use the reindeer like this. And I also have reindeer cousins. They're smaller, and I'm going to show you another option on the smaller ones. They're smaller, so I can't put too many embellishments on them, but I will try. And we also have, I think it's a moose, and we can try to do something with the moose as well. I will mention the most important things you have to remember when you're working or on alteration of different objects. And I will give you some hints which products are going to be the best for that purpose, and also what to remember and how to deal with some of the difficulties. Hello, Pascal. I made this reindeer, this one. This is exactly the same reindeer as the one I have here, as a part of my special stream for VIP patrons, so the patrons of my highest tier, 50 or 100 euro per month. And we were creating the whole dome, which means I made also the landscape. And there is a glass dome. Okay, so this is the landscape. I had some of these little Christmas trees, the pines, and we made steampunk wonderland. So this deer or reindeer fits here exactly. And then the response on my social media was amazing. People really wanted to know how to make the winged reindeer, how to do this kind of alteration. And that is fun thing. Of course, I'm not going to show you everything because this was for the patrons only, but I'm sure you have some ideas as well how to play with the winter landscape. That is kind of fun to do, and you can play with different products such as modeling paste, gesso, snowflake paste, which I really used a lot on that project, and also other products which are going to give you white color. Today we're going to focus on altering the figurines, and of course similar techniques you can put on a box, on a frame, because this is just general idea how you apply the products and what is important and what we should do. So I didn't do any prep work because I want you to see everything and to make sure that you are going to understand why it's important to do some certain steps. And I will not repeat the same painting of this reindeer because I want to have a different one. I decided this one is going to be albino reindeer and or albino deer, and I checked, but still steampunk albino. And I checked what kind of colors they should have and which parts of the body should be in which color. And I'm going to make this more natural looking painting on the smaller reindeers for you. So you're going to see how that process goes. And just to make it interesting, I will use also on one parts I'm going to use the waxes, on some of the other ones I'm going to use the paints. So you will see there's a lot of possibilities, okay? Have you got any questions before we are going to start? Because I am still quite pretty and not sweaty and I can talk to you in this situation. Just this background is just ignore that part. Anybody find the deer in the States? Love the detail on the plain white. That was from Amazon in UK. I'm sure this is from China. I have no idea, honestly. Hello, Missy Lulu. Hello. And it's empty inside. So this is just very cheap plastic. So painting that is going to help a lot. You know, I think next year I just have to start shopping early for the reindeers. Maybe we should just go to some kind of AliExpress or any other website where they have these in larger amounts and try to get them. I was probably just simply lucky. Okay. Hello, Terry. Oh, it's really filling up quickly. We've got 60 people already. So today I'm doing the reindeers, and tomorrow evening I have the VIP patrons special again. So I'm going to make exclusive stream, and my patrons are going to, well, they're challenging me with 12 supplies that I have to use in my project. They're already picked, so some of them are as crazy as eggshells. For example, I have to include eggshells, dry flowers. There are some paints and mediums, luckily. There's glitter, so it's going to be really interesting project, and that is going to be live stream that I do just for my VIP patrons. So that is going to be something really special. And then on Monday, I have to come quickly with the concept because I have Facebook live show on redesign with Prima group. So, oh, hello. So guys, I'm going to start quickly, and I will remind about the live stream tomorrow to my patrons again tomorrow as well, because I just posted the announcement of the time, the same time as today. And then I will try to shout on Facebook on redesign group about the live stream as well. And for those of you who don't go to Facebook, I'm going to re-upload that later that week as well. So it's going to be here waiting for you on YouTube. Hello. I can see a lot of familiar faces joining. Just in case, to remind you, thumbs up help a lot. And if you are able to share our Instagram or Facebook that we are starting, tag me as well so people can see it. Please, thank you. And it's great to be with you. So let me flip the camera now. I'm going to show you my table instead of my ceiling. Yay! That should work. I have my glue gun here because unfortunately for this project it may be useful for some steps. I'm just going to move you a little bit this way. I think I know where the problem is. You were upside down. Well, we have to live with that. I'm just going to move it a little bit more. Okay, I get it. Perfect. Now, forgive me the movement of the wire. I have to rearrange some things. Well, it's not too bad. Okay. So, first of all, the most important thing when it comes to the alteration is to think about the material the items are made of. And for us, again, this is not too good. Okay. Maybe now. Sorry for that. I promise to be better with the phone next time. Okay, so for us, I have got really some kind of very popular cheap plastic. And this is very slippery, so I would not be gluing anything on the top of that directly. This one is this kind of figurine that you can buy in the toy shop, and these are usually for kids, so it is more flexible plastic. This is more matte finish, and it's kind of naturally painted, so I would suggest to use some gesso on this one before starting as well, especially seems to be shiny. Just in case, for the safety, to make it more uh, easy for you to work, I would always start with gesso. And now, if you're going for the look where your project, your deer or your any other project is going to be in more natural colors, if you're going to go for the natural shadows like this one has, some of the natural shading looks quite dimensional, I would suggest to start with the black gesso. And this is how I started that project. I painted my deer in black color everywhere, but because I wanted to do something different today as well, this one is supposed to be albino, so I'm not going to use black gesso on that one. I will start with clear gesso and then go from there. So first of all, anyway, we are going to work on a little bit of the preparation. So these two guys are going to turn black, and this one is going to be white or clear, depending how do you prefer to work. So good news is gesso dries quickly, so I've got black gesso for the dark ones, and I've got clear gesso for the albino. And I need a brush to start with, and maybe a bit of matte. Okay, I just have to use that one. A bit of matte is going to help as well. Let's start with the clear gesso. It's important step because this way we are going to get rid of the imperfections, all the things that may cause some problems later. So gesso is going to give us this matte surface, and that means it will be easy for us to stick or to paint that surface. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a wash. Remember the bum as well, and the teeth are important. And we are going to cover that with the proper colors in the later steps when the gesso is completely dry. Of course, I mentioned that you don't have to really use certain product for alteration. You can use acrylic paints or waxes or combination of both, or liquid acrylics or impasto, depending what you have on hand. But it is really important to start with gesso of any kind, okay? Don't skip that step because it may be really disappointing later. Now, I just want to show you a trick. This reindeer is kind of stable. So I will paint the belly and the hind legs. Well, 12.5 inches of the reindeer, it's, I think, a lot. It's going to be a big one. Well, but, you know, depends what you need. Maybe you need a bigger reindeer. So this one is for drying. And now let's take this female and, no, male looks more presentable. And we're going to transform, that is going to be the moose. So now we switch from clear gesso to black gesso to give it darker start. It's going to be much easier for us. And we do exactly the same thing. Maybe you should not look for deer, reindeers, look for deer figurines, plastic deer toy. You know, it all depends how people call it. Sometimes it's really confusing. Look, almost ready. Black gesso is very covering, so it goes quickly. Oh, these little feet are so nice, the hooves. Yeah, well, golden deer looks inviting, but I don't feel like I would like to have a golden one like that. However, maybe in the future. Okay, I will need to dry the feet so I can put it down without any problem. Of course, you can dry your gesso with the heat gun, there is no problem at all. So you stay here, you tiny reindeer, and I will start painting your golden cousin. Okay, it's done. Close your eyes if you like the gold color. This one I bought in some kind of home decor shop last year. I bought it, but I never used it because before I could do anything for Christmas, it was already New Year. So it never happened, and it was waiting here in the box for the right time. And this year I want to make one winter dome, like I made for myself, also as a gift for my neighbor. So she will have some nice decoration to put on her table. She's not a very crafty person, and I think she will be happy to have something different from the things she usually has. Look how quickly it goes. Yeah, bye bye gold. Well, we can always sprinkle some gold on the top later. It was not bad gold. It doesn't come off that easily. I think it's not just simply glitter. It has to be the combination of golden paint and glitter to get this nice coverage. Glitter is never good to trust too. Okay, almost done. So this kind of painting, it's going to work really well with the natural colors or the metallic colors, something that will need the natural shade. The next thing you have to do is to go through your supplies and to find the elements which are going to fit on your reindeer or on your other figurine you have. Unfortunately, these are quite small, so you will have to look for really tiny embellishments, and many of the usual embellishments you would buy in the packages, they may be just too big. So I will show you the packages from my mechanicals that I think are going to do the best job for you. Okay, quick drying. Come on. This one needs a little bit more attention. You can see the gesso dries quickly when you use the heat gun, and it turns matte. So that's kind of a solution for us. I want to do something really relaxing and fun. So I hope the idea with the reindeers is going to be something you will enjoy. And if not this time, next time you will be inspired to create some other animals. You know, it may be all year round project. Next time we can do a dragon or a dinosaur or something else, right? It doesn't have to be a deer. Okay, just one moment. So now I have to paint the missing parts. So the head, on this one and the leg on the other one. Gesso is going to be great solution. For us, and I will be able to start working on the bigger one, and these ones are going to dry a little bit. Well, in fact, the hardest part is to find the bits and pieces which are going to fit, and the smaller the animal is, the harder it is, because usually we use the embellishments of medium sized or bigger. So that's why it is sometimes a challenge. Give me your legs. Yeah, the animals here. Yeah, exactly. Maybe next year we should do Siberian Husky dogs. Or something like that. Okay, so you guys dry here. And in the meantime, we will check on the white. I will make sure it is completely dry so I can easily stick my elements on it. Of course, instead of clear gesso, I could use white gesso. The result would be very similar. It doesn't have to be clear one, but it is very, very liquid comparing to the white gesso, so it goes faster. Hello, Olga, hello. I will put black gesso on the side now, and I will put the brush in the water. So now we have to go and look for the elements which are going to fit. I checked on this deer first. I know that these kind of embellishments, so the smaller sizes of the mechanicals, are going to be quite good. Also, some of the leaves are fine, and then some of the stars. So you can consider that. Here I used a bit of the stars and the small flowers. That is good option, because we have this kind of embellishments in multiple options in different packages. So just to show you what would be good packages of embellishments to look for. In this set, these sizes will be nice. Also that one is going to be just perfect for idea to use it on the side of the deer. And also these come in twos, so you can go symmetrically on both sides, so that is going to help a lot. Also these ones are good, and that one. These ones are getting a little bit too big, but it's an option as well. Okay, so that is option number one. From that set, this is machine parts. Machine parts is a good one because there are some really tiny cogs that we can use for the decoration on the top layers. So I'm going to open that as well and give you some examples. These two are perfect. Hello, Gabby, hello. These two are okay. And probably this one as well would fit. These ones are go for something bigger. This is the set with the leaves that I used here, and here are some of the smaller leaves that I used, and I think they are really adding nice forest detail. So you can also find these leaves in multiple in this package. Hello to Slovenia and hello to all other countries. Hello, hello. You are so nice to me today. Thank you. Look, from one stem you can have many leaves used for your project. So this is also a good option and good size. These are mechanicals. If you like to add some finishing touches, you may look at the sets like that. This is called mini hardware. There are different screw heads that you can use. I'm not going to open because I have plenty of these. And another idea, stars, metal stars, mini star set, 36 stars in a set. The biggest ones are really large. Here I use the medium and the small one. Okay, so you can see these two are going to be used in that project maybe. And the last set that I really like, because of these elements here, there are many, which are just perfect size for the project. This is called rustic knobs. And the knobs, they're going to be really good for creating our steampunk reindeer composition. So again, it's good. Oh, this one broke. It's the first time I can see it broken. I'm going to use some of these maybe for the albino steampunk reindeer today. So first of all, if you would like to stick something to your project, please remember the gesso has to be dry. And then when you are going to plan the embellishments, remember the biggest have to go first. So here I wanted to make flying reindeer, of course, because reindeers have to fly somehow. And Santa Claus, he's got special reindeers, magical ones, but I believe from time to time they can also have wings. So it's like a cross between Pegasus and the reindeer. For wings, I have selection of wings I made in my mold. So you can see this is more like a smaller version of the wing. Quite cute, but not too visible. Here my wing was a little bit different shape. It comes from the other mold, but you can see here I picked two sizes which are going with the idea. I just have to make a set. I really like double wings. It looks a little bit like angels from the old paintings. They have multiple wings there, which is really cool, I think. So we can try to layer wing on the top of the wing like that, and it's going to be really nice set for the albino reindeer. At the same time, we can use the small wings on the smaller reindeer as well. So I will keep them here on hand. And now, before I'm going to glue it, this is resin. So I'm going to use the same gesso on it, the clear gesso. I just clean it off from the mat, but it is okay. Where did I put my tube? Okay, here. Before gluing it, I will give it just one coat of gesso to make sure it will stick better. And it is just for safety reasons, especially on the side where it is going to be the glue, right? So again, it's better to take your time, not rush, because then you can have an object that you can easily touch, move around, and it is not going to break. But if you're going to skip the steps to get the result quickly, very soon you may learn that things start to chip off, or they don't want to stick the way you expect. Thank you, Gina. But this gesso is designed to work nicely for the journal pages, so it's invisible. But in fact, gesso that we have in the range is really good quality. Black is really black, and white is really nice as well. Yeah, finally Santa Dios makes sense. Of course they have wings. Like, I know. They tell us lies. Like, of course they have to have wings if they want to fly. Okay, so now I will flip it on the other side and paint on the other side as well. So they're going to stay better. So this is the step I wouldn't try to skip at all, because that may be just a mistake that will make you start over again. So it's just better to take your time if possible. No, you didn't miss too much at all. It's good to have you here, Olga. We're just playing. So I'm just trying to prepare the wings for the albino here. And let's give the wings to the other one as well. So I need to find a nice pair of wings for the other one, and I'm just going to paint it where the glue goes. I don't think this small one will have space for double wings, so we have to settle for just one set. I will paint it with clear gesso and it will dry as well. And now, important thing about gluing dimensional things. Many times people ask me, how do you glue your stuff on the projects? And truth is, I use heavy body gel or 3D gel in matte and gloss. But sometimes when you work on the altered art, when you have dimensional elements and you have to move them around, it is probably going to be annoying because it needs some time to dry. So what I do in the cases like that, I first glue it with the bit of the hot glue, so I make sure it is going to stay in place safely. And then I'm going to use generous amount of the heavy body gel to secure it properly. So this is a solution when you have to work quickly, which means you want to finish in one sitting, and still it's going to be really sturdy. Look, like this one, all these elements after drying are really solid, right? So you can, oh sorry. So now when it is dry, I can easily touch this option and this reindeer, and there will be no problems. So carefully, let's arrange the wings first the way we want to have them. So I will put a blob of gel, well, hot glue, sorry, and I will try to make it look kind of cool. Remember, don't be tempted to clean it off with your finger. Okay, use the tools if it's too much. Never use your finger, because guess what? It is hot glue and it is going to be painful mistake. Never try to touch it, please. So I'm trying to make similar symmetrical composition, and again pressing that down, trying to clean off. Okay, not bad at all. On the other side it looks like that, and now I can try to arrange it on the shoulder of the deer. Again, it will need quite a lot because, as you can see, his belly is round, so we need to find a spot when it's going to sit the best, and I think this is the place here. Again, maybe you can see there's empty space, so I have to fill it with the glue for now. And again, can you see there's excess? So it's better to just use the tool, which is like silicone tool, to let it go the way you like. Quite pretty, good start. And then carefully we'll repeat that on the other side as well. It's a little bit different position than it was on the first deer because the shape of the wings is a little bit different. Right? This is step number 1, and then I will have to secure it with the heavy body gel in a moment. But before I'm going to do it, I will let it dry, cool down, and in the meantime we can attach the wing to our black reindeer. I'm going to paint this one exactly the same way as I did to this steampunk reindeer that I showed you before. So you will see what is the solution here. Again, try to move this extra glue we don't like off the way. Imperfections we can cover with something. Safety is the most important thing when we do it. So please, please be very careful. Ta-da! Dashing through the snow in one horse open sleigh. Ta-ra-ra-ra-ra. Ta-ra-ra-ra-ra. So let's let it dry a bit as well. So now the decision is how much of the elements you would like to add to your project. Do you need wings as well? Do you think he needs wings? Okay, let's be nice. Everybody's got wings. The elk as well, or the elk, the moose. This one has special shoulders going that way, so I have to make sure it is going to stick. Yes, wings for everybody. I think this is fair. I'm not taking that away yet. Now we can look and think about the design of the things that we still have to glue with the hot glue. You don't really have to glue these ones with hot glue. Heavy body gel is going to do the job. However, if you're planning to put something on the antlers, there's not much of the grip space and there's some empty places that will be hard to fill. So if I can suggest something, you may try to decorate that attaching the hot glue with the hot glue as well. For that one, I was using these flowers as a start, right? So they will be sitting on the top of the antlers like this. This was the option I did. But now I found something even better. I got it from my friend and patron, Casa. She sent me little bells. So I'm going to use the bells on the antlers of the albino. And I'm going to put a drop of the glue in here to hold it for now as well. So this is going to help with the right position. I think these are perfect. If something doesn't look too nice, remember later we were going to replace it with some mediums. And because I wanted that to be a steampunk reindeer. I found the cutest possible little light bulb. I also have a pen nib, but the pen nib is a little bit too long to go on the face here, so I made a change. And now look at that cute little light bulb. This is going to be part of the antlers. And after that, I think this is it. So now we have all the big elements, or the problematic elements, already attached with the glue and drying. Okay, so this one has to cool down before we are going to add things with the heavy body gel. I'm going to check on that one. That seems to be solid. And now I can take it off the way so nobody will get hurt. Because with my luck, I would put my hand into it. So now, when the big guy is cooling down, we can look for some options. What we can glue on the top of these ones, which elements are going to fit. So this is really small little reindeer, really small one, so we have to look for the smallest possible embellishments. I've got a nice pair of these. They really fit, so we can add option like this, and these ones for his friend. So it's going to be very simple comparing to the big one, but at least we have something. And I also have these tiny cogs which are going to add some extras. So I'm going to take a good portion of heavy body gel, and I'm going to scoop it out and use it for gluing all the elements that I want to add and securing the wings. Let's start. As you can see, I put a big blob of gel, and I will add more of the details to it. When you're really concerned that too much of the gel is visible, you can take it off a bit with the wet brush. Let's add one more for the good measure. No, something else. Maybe stars. Yeah, stars are really good size. I know I'm going to struggle because it's tiny, but we will try to do our best to make it look magical, right? Oh yeah, that's going to be cute. Hello, hello. I'm happy you are here with us. Yeah, this is my biggest challenge when I really have something quite small and I have to still add embellishments to it. So my fingers feel so big at this point, but it's okay. We will manage. Stay there, stay. And maybe one more star on the cute little bum. Spaghetti effect from the hot glue, which we have to take away. Heavy body gel I'm using now is completely transparent after drying, and it's also very, very strong gel medium. So in case if you are worried that things are going to come off, once they are dry, they won't. I just want to make sure everything stays in place. And a little screw head here on the top would be a really nice touch. I'm just doing one side at once so it will have the time to dry. I found a screw head. And again, the same story, trying to clean off a little bit. If you're doing that for the first time or one of the first times, and you feel that, well, it is far from perfection, you would prefer it cleaner, you can always add some nice finishing touches in the end, like glitter, for example, and then it is going to cover the imperfections. So now I'm going to dry it a bit with the heat gun. So here's like a drying station, and we will try to make something nice for another one. Same problem, quite small animal to alter. But we will do it. Let's give it it's a little bit too thick. Oh, something else. You know these, right? They look very steampunk. What are you looking for? I can't look at the screen that much, but I'm trying to see what you are doing in the meantime. Nope, too big, this one. And the star. Ah, the deers. Well, the deers, you can buy them in the toy shop. They are not like any special brand. I was showing that some of them, they look completely like the figurines the kids collect. Moose was from last year from some kind of the home decor shop. I'm not sure in which countries it existed. It's called Søstrene Grønne, and I think it's from Denmark, and they had it in the winter collection. But I would just look on Amazon or any other place where you can buy Christmas decorations and look for deers, look for reindeers or animal figurines. Yes, the big one is, it was from Amazon UK. It was 4 deers in one package. And I think I paid around £12, which is equal to 14 euro, I think. So it was not a bad deal at all. I was posting the links after I finished that live stream for VIP patrons. So it is in our art collective group for patrons as well. Oh, look at that. What a nice little bomb with a star. So I think I can also add a star on the forehead for this one, and I will let it dry. This is like the most fun and challenging part. Which elements are going to fit on my animal? So today I'm repeating the more natural painting on the smaller ones based on This I made before, and I'm going to make the big one albino. So it's going to be a little bit different, a little bit different vibe to it. Drying station for you, my dear. My dear. Yeah, you can see it is much more secure now, so I can flip it on the other side and try to repeat the same combination. If you feel more secure this way, you can even do it here and then try to glue it all together. Yes, the stars are very important for the Christmas magic. Oh, look at this leg. I did very bad job with the black dress, so I have to fix it anyway. Okay, well, I think I need a little bit more here. It's very uneven. Stay. And stars. One for the bomb. Yeah. Then big and small one on the wing. The big one on the wing, on the top. And then the small one on the bottom. Of course, repeating the same pattern is the easy way if you can find the same elements. It's kind of, you know, solution when you would like to have it more or less similar, symmetrical. So the same story. One side, other side. And I think this cute moose also needs a star for the magic. It all depends how many small bits and pieces you can find. So the more you have, the more options you've got for altering your animal or whatever you are decorating. And now, before the final drying of this one, look, I'm taking the heavy body gel on my brush and I'm going to push it in here. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm basically regluing the wing, filling the empty spaces with the gel medium. And this is to prevent this wing from chipping off later. Hot glue is only going to work for few hours, maybe few days. And heavy body gel is permanent and flexible. So it is finally going to hold your wings or other elements in place properly, even when the hot glue is going to die. So that is an important step you should never miss in your project. See, it's quite deep, but also very thick. So if you are planning to do some alterations with dimensional stuff, never ever rely on the hot glue, because it only seems to be working for a short time. So don't trust. This one is ready for painting with gesso and paints, and I will let it dry here in the meantime. So it is going to go to the heat gun station. And then we can repeat this composition we have on the other side of the reindeer. So it was this one on the top of the big sun looking like detail. Where is this cog? Ah. Oh, here. Okay. And then we need a small star for the bomb and small star for the wing, and this part of the clothes clasp. Sorry, clap. It wasn't too smart. Let's see if there are any questions. Okay, so let's flip our deer. You can see I'm touching that and it seems to be staying nicely, so that's a very good sign, which means the drying station was a good solution. And then again, look, big blob of the gel. It's important you're not too shy with it because it has to fill all the empty gaps and spaces, right? So it's better to have more than not enough. And then we go again. Now you can play a little bit and move it out. Take it out with the brush. Don't stick to my finger. Thank you. Now, I think this is not the most convenient size to work on. I prefer the bigger ones because I have more space, but it is not bad. I can find good solutions, like good options, not that hard to get small bits and pieces. But in the case if you're missing things like that, look at the little beads or pieces of jewelry as well that may be fitting into your smaller composition. I will stop because it's going to burn alive. Poor little moose. And now I'm repeating the same thing with the gel. It's going to be a bit more challenging because it's hard to get in there with the gel. But believe me, I'm trying to get us close to the back and the wing as I can. So it's going to secure it and hold it. You know, I think this kind of extra measures are super important, especially if you have plans to give it to somebody as a gift, which I want to do, and you don't want to put this person into the situation when they will drop it by accident and something will come off. And also if you have kids nearby, because kids love touching things. This is the natural thing. This is how they learn and this is how they explore. You don't want them to be holding your deer and you know, you will have to basically not breathe and tell them don't touch it, because that would be really a shame. So I think it's better to just give it this extra measures and press this heavy body gel everywhere you can and let it dry. If you make multiple, you can just work like I do in stages, you know, you work on one and then the other one is drying, and this is going to help as well, so you're not bored with that too much. Okay, so now this one is drying in the drying station, and we're going to look at the biggest one, the albino. I need to find the things which are going to fit nicely on that one. I have to be careful because these may chip off now. I have to be quite delicate while I'm touching it. Remember, this is covered with clear gesso already, so it's easier for us to stick things in the right positions. This is really nice cog, and it would fit here. It's a little bit too big on the neck, and it's much too round on the bum, so doesn't work too well. This one is really pretty, and this is the one I used here, and I really love it. And I think about combining this one and this one. And I would really like to repeat the idea of something on the neck, because the neck is bigger as well, so we can play with that concept. So let's see what fits on the neck first. This is not a bad option at all, and then we can combine it with this guy. It's going to look very, very steampunk. I don't want you to melt, please, so try to don't faint. Remember when you were drying things like that? This is plastic, and look how flexible this one is now. You have to give it a moment to breathe as well, because if you are going to go too far, this poor creature will melt. So be careful. It may faint, and then it's going to be a problem. Yeah, the little legs will get wobbly. I'm right-handed, so it should be here. Oh, you like the wings. Thank you. I think wings are making things more steampunk right away. This is how it works. No matter what we are doing, quite quickly everything turns more machine-like when we add the wings to it. It's kind of paradox, but okay, so this is the start. Yes, well overcooked. This one is, oh, yeah, it's breathing again, but there was a moment I really was worried his legs are going to collapse, but okay, it's okay. I really like these little ones, so I'm going to include these ones as well. The flower is too big here, I think. Yeah, it's going to kill the whole wing. You won't see it anymore, so maybe here. Oh, that's cute. It's another element. And then something to hold this in place. So the screw, and I wanted to add the little leaves as well. To the whole composition, so this one is going to work pretty well, I think. I just glued it too early. It's okay, we will move it. Too long. If something is too long, make it shorter. I will glue this part down so you are going to see the look of it, and then we will move to other details. Again, I'm trying to clean it up a little bit so we will see more of the natural look and texture of the embellishment. Yeah, that looks quite good. Now we can add this big leaf on the other side. I will just remove this big loop. And now I'm going to repeat the treatment with the heavy body gel. So I can see I'm just adding a lot of it in the right place. So pressing that into this empty gap. So it's going to hold the wing in the right position. Okay, the only thing that we are missing are the stars on the bomb. This is the bigger one and the smaller one. The bigger one and then the smaller one. I wish I could read what you are saying. You are too quick. Go, go, go. I'm not sure if you know, but Nunu was doing the reindeer tutorial here today as well on redesign with Prima Group. And she was a bit worried that she's not going to make it on time. But look at her. She's here. So I will give it again a moment of drying in the drying station. So the deer has a chance to work safely. And in the meantime, when I will organize my things, I need this, 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 and these ones can go on the side now. In the meantime, we can paint the moose and the deer with the black gesso in the parts that are not really ready. And I can read if you have any questions, guys. So far we prepared these two with the black gesso and we glued the elements on them. And then the other one is prepared with the clear gesso and we're adding the elements on it as well. Okay, cooling down a little bit. Yes, I need assistant to read the comments. I know, I should teach the cat, I think. And this is probably the best option because my husband is always busy when I'm doing things. So I will talk to my cat about it. So now, of course, it's good to check before you're going to paint, right? Check with your fingers. You don't want to start painting too early just to discover things are going to come off. I'm always afraid it will happen when I'm doing the live stream because I'm trying to be quick and I want you to see the results as soon as possible so you will feel encouraged to try that at home. And sometimes when you are too quick, it's a painful mistake. So Just saying, if you feel that elements are moving, just don't do it. Wait a little bit more, give it a chance to dry better, and then come back in 5 minutes. The reindeer has a majestic attitude, the white one. Yes, I think so. It's going to be really beautiful reindeer. As you can see, it really covers quickly, goes really quickly. So it's just important to find the annoying little white spots. Especially in the deeper parts, black gesso is going to be important because it will be our shadow. So I prefer to paint quite carefully. Oh, look, huge white space. I will take the smaller brush to get into the detail. The horrible reading comments and mine have tendency to lay down on keyboard and type random confusing stuff. Huh, well, I'm using the phone, so the cat has no chance to come here. But I can imagine that your cat would say some naughty things from time to time. Yeah, that would be acceptable. Acceptable. So you stay here and dry. And now the moose with the golden leg. Same story. Try to find all the white spaces and to cover that with gesso. Of course, gesso is changing the color, but it also is the primer. So no matter what we are going to use on the top, that may be acrylic paint, that may be spray, wax, it is going to hold to this surface so much better. And you are going to need less layers to get really nice results. That will be fun. This is one of the things that I do when I go shopping to the flea market. I look through the old toys as well, because sometimes you can find really promising elements or promising little toys you can alter. You know, sometimes they just have broken pieces of toys, because some people can pick it up and fix. And sometimes they will have like this figurines, animal figurines or action figurines. And then you can alter them so well. I just want to remind you, our magical toy shop challenge, there were so many beautiful toys altered by the people. It was just so very cool. So I think that there's almost endless potential. I have a feeling I missed something. Of course, this one. So you can see, even with quite short drying, heavy body gel is able to hold the things in place. Of course, it's not completely dry yet, but it created like a surface that is holding things in place. So that means you can continue. Yes, I miss the flea markets as well. I would love to go, and I was planning to go, and then They closed everything, and then I was thinking, oh, maybe I can go now, and then they closed again. So now I'm just waiting patiently. One day I will be back, and I will have a lot of pocket money to spend, because I will be saving. So what I noticed, these plastic, soft plastic figurines, they are melting easier than the other ones. So when you're working with these from the toy shop, please remember, don't overheat them, because you will have fainting reindeers, for example, like I did. The moose is more sturdy construction. Apparently the plastic is different, so it is holding the shape better. Okay, let's let them dry naturally a bit before we start painting them. And let's do the other side of our albino. Yeah, I still need to dry a little bit here on the back. Hello, hello. I can see still people joining. Yeah, the black deer looks cute too, exactly. This is the look we are going to create on the black ones. Something more steampunk inspired, add in more natural colors, and the albino is going to be steampunk albino, of course, but it's going to be a white one. So I really wanted to have really cool options as well. It is a little bit not in balance because it's heavy on one side now, so I have to stick elements on the other. So poor thing, it is not going to collapse. So again, heavy body gel, and I'm going to stick the missing parts of the composition. I try to make it more or less similar, symmetrical, but if it's not going to be exactly the same, it's not a problem for me. It's natural, organic thing, so if it's a bit wonky or not perfect, it's fine. Okay, now let's use it as a support. The big cog here. On the neck, maybe a little bit more. The neck is quite round, so I try to find a position where this cog is going to sit quite safely. And then I need part of the clasp, but I lost it. Oh, let's take this one. Oh, happy holidays, everyone. Yeah, thank you, and the same to you. Okay. So again, cleaning it a little bit. I just will try to take cleaner brush. And now on the wing. We need this time I'll try to remember first the leaf, then the cog. Oh, I'm glad I'm not the only one missing a bit of the conversation. You make me feel better, Terry. Thank you. Some people prefer to create together with me or with the other person who is doing the stream. Some people prefer to talk, depending also on the day. Sometimes you are just not feeling like creating at the moment, but it's nice to hang out with people. All of them are fine. All of the options are okay. Let's check from that side as well. It looks like something is missing here. Ah, I know. This one came off. It's okay, don't worry. I will stick you down. And then we needed the stars. Star for the decoration of the cute little back of the reindeer. And the little screw head for here. Ta-da! And then this part is supposed to be here, so I have to find another one and stick it. Here it is. Let's hope for the best. I have the feeling I didn't give enough of the gel. And again, making sure I'm putting the good portion of the heavy body. Oh, I would like to say a bad word now, but I don't have. No, I will need to wash my mouth after, so it's okay. Let's take a little bit of the drier gel from the edge. Yes, there is gesso, of course, but the gesso is clear on this deer, so we don't really see it. But we will gesso it again in a moment when it is dry on the embellishments, and then we are going to use the paints to create the unique look we are going for. In the meantime, I will show you how I did the painting on the other ones. So it's like I'm jumping from one project to another. It's like skip, but it is just easier this way, I think. So we are not getting bored waiting at the glue to dry. Now, for better measure, I want to secure this light bulb with the portion of the gel as well, so no matter what, it is going to stay in place. Oh, poor thing, you didn't get a star on your forehead. You're such a good reindeer, you don't even complain. No worries, I will do it now for you. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I'm basically pressing this gel medium in the places where I've got hot glue to basically use it as a sealer and to make sure that this is not going to chip off ever, because that would be really disappointing. This part of glue here is really annoying. Thank you. I think you're having a lot of fun there in the comments, and I'm just the one here who's just gluing stuff down. And no, too big. Looks like no, smaller one. Okay. Oh yeah, much better. And now drying. So I will dry it a little bit and look at the comments. If you have any questions, I'm ready to answer now. So far we took the plastic animal and we covered that with gesso, black or clear. This was the start. And once the gesso was there, I also gessoed wings, which are made of resin, so it's easier to stick them on the plastic, and glued all these elements using first a bit of the hot glue for the wings, which are large and heavy, and then securing everything with the heavy body gel. We are very close to the painting stage because we basically are now adding all the details in place and and trying to make it dry. Once it is dry, we can make the whole transformation happen quickly. So this one is going to be white. It's going to be not completely white, of course. It's going to be white, silver, and a bit of red pink, because this is going to be albino. And of course the mechanical parts are going to be metal, so it's going to look really, really cool. And the other ones, the smaller ones, I'm going to make the painting which is more similar to the one that I made originally on the reindeer I created for my patrons and the glass dome. So this is the painting I'm going to explain to you on the smaller ones, of course. Hello, Iran. Hello. And we're going to move to that at this point when I'm going to be quite happy with this to be dry enough. You have a question. When I tried to order vintage pink metallic paint from my supplier, she said it's not longer available. Is it really discontinued? Vintage pink in metallic range? Because I'm just thinking, there's not a color that is called vintage pink. Is it impasto? Thank you. The reindeers are really fun to make. Impasto. I would have to check, but I don't think discontinuing of the impasto was done already. I am sure if only then will be some few colors that would be discontinued, not all of them. I would have to check it for you. So once I know, I will message you about that. It may be not soon because I have to get the sales report and ask, but I think they should not be discontinued. At least I didn't put them on the discontinue list yet. Of course, it's because sometimes we just swap colors for more popular ones, or we are going to include different colors in the line if some of them were not popular. But you mean the boudoir pink or the dusty rose? That is important. Oh, well, brushes were out of stock for some time because of the corona, and that the suppliers, they were not having the products at hand, but they're supposed to be back in stock. If something is missing, I will be trying to find out when it is coming, but sometimes they can't even tell me themselves, to be honest. Let's play a little bit with the small guys when this big one is drying. Oh, it's very hot. So if you can see some imperfections, don't worry too much because we're going to cover that with the next layers. And I was explaining in the beginning, and not all of you were here, that if it is a bit imperfect, there will be paint or wax, and this is very true. You can use basically anything you have on hand to paint these, and if you would like to make them more magical, I suggest metallic finish because then it's going to have this extra shine. This is metallic finish, of course, but if you don't have it, you can use regular acrylic paint as well, for example in pastel. The most important thing is you are going to do it quite lightly, so we are not going to put too much. So to make it more fun, we'll make more one with the browns and silvers, so more this color palette, and this mousse is going to be more with gold because it was originally gold, so why not? The basic colors you can use as a start. It may be, for example, a natural color of the deer, so the brown. And I can use Bronze Age wax, for example. No, it's not that much on the discontinued list. No worries, no worries. There are always some things, but they're usually the ones people won't miss too much. Another good suggestion for the color, if you would like to go for the lighter tones, it may be vintage gold. It may be very light one, right? So this is a good option. For the highlights, old silver is always good option. And if you would like to have some lighter browns, you can look for the rich copper as well, or the aged brass. I'm just trying to see if I can see any of these here. Red amber is not this color I was looking for. I always have problems finding that, what I'm looking for. Believe it or not, I have quite a lot of stuff here. Vintage gold. I think last time I was looking for aged brass and I had the same problem. Okay, whatever. Rich copper. It's also a good option. So maybe let's make this one more into rich copper and some golds, and this one more into browns and silvers. So now, of course, you could take your brush, which is typically for waxes, but this is quite small. So it may be a little bit too big for you. So if you have an old brush which is smaller and softer, that you can use for now, like this one. It is not the best brush, as you can see. It is probably going to be easier solution for you, okay? On these ones, I'm going to use waxes. On the big reindeer, I'm going to use acrylic paint. So you have different options, okay? So you will see how different mediums work. Because as I told you, you don't really have to do exactly the same every time. So first, the most important part is that you should not be too perfect with the waxing. We want to see kind of natural shadow a bit. So I'm first taking this brown color that is going to be the main color of this guy. And I'm going to put this wax quite deep in the brush. So it's going to be really, really saturated with the wax. And then I'm going to rub off the excess. And now we are just almost like dry brushing. But there are some natural shapes of that figurine that you don't want to go too far. For example, the tail, right? If there is a tail, you don't have to go deeply. Leave it there, the natural shadow. This black gesso is helping us to show the natural pattern or the natural texture of the fur. That's why they really start to look amazing. They were just plastic looking ones. They were nicely painted, but now you can also see there's really hair on these animals. So that is very, very cool. Look, I'm just starting with one coat of this bronze color on the top of the reindeer. I don't have to worry about the antlers that much because antlers will be silver and the transformation is very quick. Again, don't go on the belly too much, maybe just a little bit. You don't have to go too far between the legs. It has very interesting anatomical details, just let me tell you. Oh, that reminds me the stories when you work with kids and they're supposed to paint or draw their pet they have at home. And then you learn all these interesting details because some of the pictures are very, very accurate. Okay, look, if I would paint more, the texture of the hair of the deer would disappear, right? So you don't really have to go deeper, because if now I'm going to go more in with this color, all these textures will just get completely matte, completely solid, and then it's going to be beautiful brass color or beautiful bronze color. But these natural shadows we have now are going to disappear. So stop yourself before it's too late, okay? Let these natural colors be visible. Now let's focus on the highlights. I wanted to do silver highlights on this one, so I'm going to take all silver. What did Olga say? Yes. This is a very delicate part and I leave it to your decision, okay? I think we are all adults here, so we know what may happen. I'm not going to recommend this kind of activities in public. This is up to you, what you want to do with the brush and the hind parts of the animal. Let's say this is your private decision. So now, with the silver, I wanted to add the details on the antlers. And, you know, this is just to make it look a little bit different. Of course, probably in nature, the antlers will be a little bit more brown, so you can come with a bit of brown and add some extra, but it is steampunk anyway, so we don't have to make everything too perfect. Again, luckily, these also have beautiful textures, so covering everything would be kind of a waste. You can add a little bit on the ears, on the nose, to make it look more delicate and cute. Now I'm a bit... okay, I will say it in a moment. The legs, right, the legs. I keep using the same silver wax. And I'm going to highlight the details on the wings just using my finger. I don't want to go too deep. I want this to look as natural as possible. Olga, I think you are enrolled already. If not, then you are in trouble, because that means we missed a little bit of the... Like, I remember you drinking few drinks in the past, and if you're underage, you shouldn't. Okay, so now, unfortunately, in the nature, you know what color is here? Of course, it is white. So, you know, if you would like to be close to the real look of the reindeer, you know, you should do the action with the brush. I'm not showing you that on the screen. I'm not suggesting anything at all. But in reality, the tail is like that. Okay, I missed the star here. This is not the end. I'm going to add a bit of the rusty color to it in a moment. But first, I want to do the same treatment to the moose. But this time we're going to change the colors. Like, you know. But guys, really, I have cats, I've got dogs, and I had a hedgehog, and I really had a lot of animals in my hands before. Sometimes the treatments you have to give to them are far worse than just using the brush under the tail, so... White spots in his cheeks are called mirror. Yes, exactly, this is the mirror. So this one has the mirror, right? Remember, it's important. They need it. So let's make the moose more into golds and coppers, okay? Yeah, well, it's winter time, Olga, so the hedgehog is asleep in the garden. So we are not exactly sure which part she picked as her new home, but until middle of November, she was still coming to eat the food from the safe place. So then she stopped, so we guess this was the moment when she fell asleep. Again, the same story. Remember, don't go too deep. It's a beautiful color. So I'm doing the same thing, but with the rich copper. They're making fun of me because I told them, hey, Kotsur! They're making fun of me because I told them you have to paint the deer under the tail as well, because this is where they are white. Yeah, you can see that on Animal Planet. Well, this is true. Yeah, so this is the copper color. And we are basically doing the same treatment, trying to go not too deep, right? We try to keep a bit of this natural black color as well, which is in fact giving us the impression of the dimension and creating the natural shadow. Yeah, the moose is going to be very handsome. Don't forget the wings on the back side as well. 2 dogs in my house with long fur, so I understand. Well, yeah. I have 2 cats with long fur and one hates being brushed, so there's a reason I have a scar on my face. And now I found better ways of doing some of the things, but it was challenging. And yeah, you have to learn how to give them a trim, especially in some parts, to make it better for them. We should have cocktails and craft night. Oh, that would be the best. Next time I should come prepared. I have a couple of bottles at home waiting. Olga, stop it, stop it. Yeah, Discovery Channel is the source of knowledge about life for so many generations. Okay, so this one I'm going to combine with white gold. It's going to be a little bit warmer in colors than the reindeer. Is it in focus? I hope so. And then we're adding this color here. I really like the beard it has here. Okay. So I'm going to do that as well. So first with a brush, and then if you really want to highlight, you can use your finger to go a little bit further with the details. Again, you can do the legs so they have a little bit of the nice highlight. Yeah, the moose, mooses, they have really big feet, so it's really cool. They're huge animals. It's cool to see one, to be honest, in the forest. It's scary sometimes when they show up. Of course, not in here. We don't have any in Ireland, but in Poland we have a lot. And I'm sure in Sweden, in Norway, you have plenty of these guys as well. Little tail. Oops, too much on my finger. To make up a tail confusion, I can share that. I scratched the face is nothing. I got my tongue pierced by a cat while I was changing his bandage. Olga, I am speechless. I can't even imagine what was happening there. These creatures have no idea how much patience we have with them. Really. It's really easier to take care of the dog, to be honest, comparing to the cat. The dog, you can just tell them not to move. And if you are persistent enough, they won't. But the cats, it's different cup of tea. Look at that guy. Not bad at all. So they are waiting for the final touches. The reindeer and the moose. Yeah, that was big ouch, I think. And now we're going to prepare the albino reindeer for painting. I have to clean my fingers because if I'm going to touch it now with the fingers waxed, it may be a mistake and my white reindeer is not going to be white anymore. Just giving it only checkup, because checkups, you know, they save your life sometime. I will wash my things. Well, they look quite cool, I think. And the best part is you can put them into little glass dome and you can create a little landscape and it's going to be perfect winter decoration. Maybe not exactly strictly Christmas, but it's just winter vibe. And I think it is really worth it. Now, we need to paint our albino with white color. You can use white gesso or white acrylic paint because we want it to be more or less neutral. Oh, I have white impasto. It's going to be a bit whiter than gesso, so it's good solution and it's going to be sticky. So that is going to work instead of the gesso really well. Yes, adult moose, it's huge animal, I know. I mostly want to paint the metal parts, of course, because we are going to paint it anyway with acrylics. I just want to make sure these ones are going to get neutral so I can use any color I like without problems. Again, try to find the things that you may miss by accident. Look from different angles. Yes, the coverage is really good because they have plenty of pigment. Comparing to gesso, white paint is covering like 2 times quicker. It's because the formula is different. The paint is the paint, the gesso is the gesso. Different purposes of using them. Remember also we are going to add some metallic colors on the metal parts, so you know, it's not the matter of life and death. Of course, it will be nice if you can cover quite well, but in the worst case, there will be some metallic anyway. The same with these bells on the on the horns, antlers. They are going to be a bit rusty, so we don't have to agonize on every detail. Of course, you need albino reindeer in your life. I think it's going to be awesome. I don't really have to paint the legs. I'm just painting mostly the wings, which are the things which they're not too white, and metal parts. And I was now that's the best part. I was trying to figure out how to make the albino painting, because you know, white is not the only color on the albino animal. There are other shades as well. So apparently I have to go for a little bit of pink in some parts, and it's going to be kind of fun to do. So let me dry this one first so it's permanent. And then we are going to do the coloring and highlighting. First, I'm going to work with acrylics, and then we are going to do the final touches with the wax, similar way as we did on the wings for the metallic look. I think it's much easier with the wax to do all these dimensional things. And finally, some rusty touches with acrylics as well. Stay. Don't go there. I think this poor reindeer is a bit tired. Well, they are rare in the wild, but in nature, kind of, the albino animals are having harder time to hide, so it's harder for them to avoid the predators. That's why it is kind of natural that we don't see them so much. Yeah, it will have red eyes, but I was checking on the photos, how do these albino look like? And I found out the color we can see is something like shade of pink. And I'm using now pink blush metallic paint together with spring blossom, because this is too much like a salmon and this one is too pink. And I'm going to mix them together to create a perfect shade to do some markings, which I'm going to highlight anyway later, so don't worry, it's not going to be too much. A little bit more of this one. I need the small brush now, and we need to work a little bit on the details. First of all, instead of the black, now I'm going to brush it in the parts that will naturally create the shadow. So it's like I'm adding the shadow, but with the pink color. Don't look what I'm doing here. Don't look at the back. Of course, inside of the ears. And of course, the mouth. Don't worry, it's imperfect. I'm going to go with white on the top of it anyway. And believe it or not, they really have pinkish antlers as well. Not completely, of course, but they're going to be pinkish. It's because there's no pigment, and that means, especially when they're clean, they will have a bit of that pinkish tone on the top of them. It's much easier to do this step with the acrylic paints, I think, because you can mix them with water, so you can create the look that is going to be more natural, and it's easier to work on the saturation. And of course, we repeat the same thing here, armpit, and here. It's a bit too far. If you can imagine albino rabbit, right? It's kind of the same concept. I'm going to add the details a little bit later. But I'm also making the pinkish hoofs. Yes, and I've seen albino deer with basically almost white eyes. So it was interesting as well. And blue eyes are very popular, like very often visible in the animals which have white color. So that could be an option as well, but the really albino would have the pink red eyes. Looks a little bit like a rabbit now. Well, this is going to be magical little reindeer. Okay, so just in case, I figured the best color for this skin tone pink is going to be the mixture of the spring blossom and the pink blush from the metallic paints. And before I'm going to brush the white on the top of it to soften it, I'm going to dry it so everything will stay completely safe. Yeah, Easter Bunny, exactly. I'm going to use white metallic paint now. There's a reason I'm making albino, because I wanted that to be different to what I did for my patrons, so we can have more fun and you can always see some new ideas. And I'm making the similar painting on the smaller ones anyway, so this way you can really learn different color palettes and feel more confident. And you know, it's just, I think you can do a lot with these techniques, and it's really fun to play with that. Hello, hello, Cornelia. Good to see you here. Yeah, it's beautiful, Mr. Bunny. I will take a bit of the white paper so it's not going to get dirty by accident. Of course, this is like a rough sketch of the color. You can't do it right away. It's much easier if you just do it in stages. So stage one is adding like the undercolor, undertone that we wanted to create. And of course, this is too pink now. But in a moment, we are going to add a little bit of white over it, so it's going to soften. And now the question is, do you want this animal to be matte or gloss, right? If you are planning to do a more natural look, you should do it in matte finish. So use impasto or any other traditional matte acrylic paint. We agreed we're going to go for metallic because it's going to be steampunk and more magical, shiny. So instead of using matte paints, I'm using metallics, including metallic white. So this is just, I'm trying to close that. And of course, I have a hard time. Okay, later. So this is going to be white pearl. I lost the label, but this is white pearl metallic. And again, I'm taking the brush, which is going to be not too big and flat, possibly flat on one side, so I can do a bit of delicate brushing. I used so many brushes already. I'm trying to find a clean one. This one is probably the cleanest of them all. So something like that is going to be good size. And now I'm just doing the same thing I did with the waxes, but with the metallic paint. And that means you have to clean off the excess. It's very important when you dry brush, you just have to remove the excess. And now I can go a little bit deeper in some parts if I want to. And I can repeat as many times as I like. So for example, if I will see this is too much, I can even go with white gesso on the top of it again. Look how nicely it makes the colors I've created before softer. So I'm just dipping and brushing. It's going to be super, super shiny albino deer. I think I went a little bit too far on the belly. So the belly is going to go with a bit of the white impasto first. So nobody will see I went a little bit too far. So the poor thing doesn't look like it's bleeding. That would be a shame. Oh, that's better. Ta-da-dum. And problem solved. Now we can continue. I will take a little bit more of this impasto because I think in some parts I was a bit too generous with pink. Really. Just remember, if your everything's supposed to be metallic, try to cover these parts later with the metallic paint. And now metallic. A moment. Let's go on the antlers. as I noticed, the further you go, the more pink the antlers are. So closer to the head, they are more white. It's also important information for us when we are painting according to natural look. So I'm going to apply that to my deer as well. A little bit of the metallic on the back. Again, you don't have to be too careful because we already have it more or less in the right color palette. Now we are going for the right proportion of the color. Yeah, looks like Patronus. Well, it's going to be the Patronus then. I told you we're going to have fun reindeer party. So now it's a touch of magic as well. So I'm using, in the parts that I feel are a little bit too pink, I'm starting with the matte white paint, and then I'm going to give a coat of the white pearl because I think this is more efficient. On the antlers, I really want to keep this pinkish tone. It is absolutely cute, to be honest. I was expecting it's going to be cute, but it's cuter than I expected. What I like about this reindeer, it has some imperfections on it as well, which means this plastic mold has some like asymmetry in the antlers, and you know, it is adding this really nice touch. Okay, so now I'm going to do the final coat with the metallic pearl. So I will dry whatever I have. And then we're going to focus on adding the details to the machine parts because the wings are still not painted. Oh, you're discussing glitter. Well, glitter is always a good choice for Christmas. And not only for Christmas. I'm giving like a wash of the metallic white pearl. I'm really super careful about the face. I would like to make sure the face looks nice because people usually wrong paint. Pay attention to the face a lot. So I will make sure the nose looks really nice and pink. Uh-oh, I touched something too early, as always. Now, so instead of the white wax, I could just use metallic pearl paint. Okay. Now we have to color the wings, and I'm going to use the silver, especially for the metal parts. So whatever is made of metal on this reindeer, it is going to be in silver or maybe iron color. I will check which color is going to look better. We had a bit of the old silver to compare with the brushed iron. I think darker will be better, so probably brushed iron. Olga, I think we may think alike, so I'm taking both next to each other. If you want to compare, you can see brushed iron is darker. And then we mostly focus on the metal parts. And again, I'm trying to find a brush which is not going to be too big. I know usually you should use brushes for waxes for this purpose, but the reality is with such a small project, it's easier with the regular brush. Oh, this one looks like some kind of animals were using it before. So perfect for the purpose today. Let's do some waxing of the metal parts. Mostly the cogs now. And the leaf. And now with my finger, details of the wings. Now this one needs a shadow here. Oh, too early. That looks quite cool. The bells. This one I have to stick. And then we do the same on the other side. After that, the only thing we need to do is to add some rust and some highlights maybe in some parts. Don't forget about inside as well. Inside is always tricky. Oh, you are so nice to me. Thank you. I'm happy you like the albino reindeer. Yeah, rust and highlights, they're going to be important. Because without that, it will look unfinished. More of the brushed iron. We want to create the impression the wings are made of metal. I will stick you in a moment. Just wait, wait. It's very impatient. Now, where's this heavy body gel? Here. Now, moment of drying, and then we are going to work on the final touches on both. Of three of them, all of three of them. I'm not drying the wax, I'm drying the heavy body gel and the paint, because I can feel in some places it's still a little bit wet. So when this one is drying, and I'll be adding some white highlights and rust, we can start working on the rusty touches on our two special steampunk animals. We are going to look at the moose and on the deer. And if you look here, you can see I added a tiny bit of the rusty touch, and if you want to do that, it's kind of easy. The easiest way is to just use some liquid acrylics, and for making the shadows extra deeper, you can use ink black. For the rust, tiger orange. Also, very good recommendation, a bit of carmine. And a small brush and the water sprayer are going to be your best friends. So first of all, a bit of carmine. This is like the main rusty red color in that color palette. This is tiger orange, which is dirty orange going into rust. And then some black if we need to add some shadows, because sometimes we do need to do that, but just in case. I will take a smaller jar with water now, so it will be easier for me to work. So now, using these, we can just add a little bit of the rusty touches here and there, for example, on the wing. Right, and then if you want to make it look natural, you can spray it with water, and it's going to give you more flowy, more delicate look. This is quite dark coloring palette, so I'm not going to use the orange. I'm going to mostly focus on the carmine. Yeah, I was right. I was just double checking. Okay. And then maybe tiny bit of black here and there. Squeak of excitement. We should have something like that. Just in case, if you feel that some parts are not dark enough, this ink black is not super covering. It is color that you can easily use for adding shadows. And then we're just playing as much as we like to create the look. Of course, we repeat the treatment on the other side, so we can do a little bit of the shadows. This is quite a lot of shadows here anyway, so you don't have to worry that much. But in case if you're missing some, you can use the liquid acrylic. It was very quick. One thing this poor little guy is missing, it's the eye. So if you want to, you can play with the small brush and paint the eye as well. I'm not sure if you can see, but it is much better. Of course, in a way, you should not really paint over the waxes with acrylic paints, but if you're doing just the highlights or drips like that, it's okay. They're going to stick. Just don't try repaint large spaces. Just go with, you know, tiny bit of the paint. It's going to be fine. I think we have to proclaim this one finished. Maybe just a little bit glitter in the end. So this is the mousse. Now let's do similar thing for our reindeer or the deer. I have that brush, so I will start with the eyes. Just look at that, much better. Maybe a little bit of this black here for the shadows. And then we're playing with the reds and oranges for the rusty touches. Yep. Oh, thank you so much, Anna. I got a sticker today. You are so kind. Thank you. That's the cutest little dog. Yeah, it's very grungy look. So for this one, because this one has this quite cute little face, it's missing a bit of pink. I'm going to add this touch of the pink on the nose, but it's completely dry. Okay, I will use the nude color. From liquids, not too much. We can also do it here on the antlers. And then water it down so it looks natural. The star on the forehead didn't get any touches. Now it has. Of course, you can play and make little dots on its bum as well. You know, that is something that you can try to do, but you don't have to. We will have a little bit more of work with the albino, but it's almost done as well. So let's have a look at these two friends together. I think it was worth it. They look really much better. So you can see this is very easy technique using the wax and tiny bit of acrylics. You can also use just acrylics and then, you know, include the waxes if you like. Now I have to clean the hands and then I'm going back to albino because it needs some shading highlights. So they're going to be perfect for the smaller domes, you know, these ones, because the bigger one needs a bigger glass dome as well. So before you are going to plan anything, measure if they fit, okay? Because this would be kind of disappointment to make the whole preparation and then it never is going to fit into your space. Yeah, no worries. Go and sleep and then it's going to be recorded. Thank you so much for watching, of course, and for being with us. Now we have this and we need to make it look more natural. So one of the first things we have to do is to add a little bit of the shadows, especially where the metal is. So I'm coming to this black color first, and as you can see there's a lot of wax, so it's resisting. It's kind of natural, but it's okay. We are going to only treat it as a shadow, so it doesn't have to be too much of the coverage. So I'm just intentionally putting these darker tones to create the impression this is more dimensional. Because I need the new bottle of the black. And then you can even move it with your finger a little bit. You can also create a little bit of the shadow on the body. But be careful here, don't do too much. Remember, if it's too much, you can pick it up with your brush. Sorry, baby wipe. You can see how the waxes are resisting. This is a natural thing. You should not be surprised. You're not really supposed to paint over them. That's why it's always like that. But as I told you, a little bit of the highlights is going to do the job. And quick drying. You can try to create like your special darker tone, like a gray, that is going to be with a tiny bit of the pink in it. No, this is not the pink color. I need carmine. Are you discussing the future of the reindeers? I'm adding a little bit of the darker tones here and there. inside of the ears, for example, or the little nose. And here as well, adding a little bit of the shadow on the head. Because we don't want the reindeer to look suspiciously clean, because this is not happening in real life too much. It's good if they have a tiny bit of the dirty tone in it as well. Okay, that side looks promising. We repeat the same thing on the other side. I just want to add the shadow here as well. You know, when something is too clean, it is suspicious. Adoption by surprise. Ah! Adoption by surprise. Like, it's like you don't expect it, but you get adopted. I'm just playing now to add those extra touches of color. And as you can see, I usually use dirty colors. I add some black to the colors to make them look more natural. This is good trick when you are working on the projects where in reality we are going a little bit grungy. If something is too dirty, I will just make it cleaner in a moment. Oh yes, here for example. So annoying, I have to do it again because I was not careful. A bit. Gina, wow, thank you so much. You are so generous. Thank you so much for the sticker. Oh, it's so fun. So fun. Thank you. Huge hearts. Thank you. And we are adding the shadow on the other side. You know, shadow is just, oh shit. Sorry. Look at this. It started to drip and I didn't look. And then it wanted to ruin my project. But Ta-ra-ra-ra-ra. It will be fine. There is still water. Thank you, thank you. Well, it is not a bad word yet. I try to watch my mouth. Because you never know. Some people are very sensitive and I don't want to offend anyone. And it's okay. Like, you know, there are some words I wouldn't say, for example, in front of my mom. Just in case. Because I may get, you know, smacked with a dirty piece of tablecloth, for example, or the kitchen cloth. You know what I mean? Well, I have to, you know, people are watching and then they don't want you to say bad words in front of them. So I try to behave as much as I can in the the most elegant way I can in this situation. And yes, people, it's kind of natural that we swear a lot at home, yes. But most of the times nobody knows. Yeah, soap, apron, you get smacked and then you feel sorry that you open your mouth. Yeah, don't you dare say things like that in front of me. And then that's it. And that's the reason that I cannot get monetized. See? This is how you pay for your mistakes in the most painful way. Okay, so now you're just finishing the white and adding touch of rust, and this is finished. I really love his pink feet. It's so cute. So again, wherever I killed the shiny finish, now I'm bringing it back. It's not too much though. Sometimes it's like you take, you know, you have to go back and forth because no matter how hard you try to keep it clean, it is not happening anyway. So in the end, just put another coat to make it cleaner. And this is what I'm doing now, just cleaning it up a little bit. Oh, you poor thing, your front legs are dirty. What were you doing? Late to the party, hi! Good to see you! We have a lot of fun with these reindeer, so join us. Well, I also drink on screen and mispronounce words. Well, I don't think that is a problem. It's much worse if you're drinking alone, people say. If you drink on the screen, that means that at least you have company. I probably should not say that, but I absolutely love it. I'm so happy I have albino reindeer. So if somebody's planning to kidnap the reindeer, it may not be so easy as you think. It may be guarded. I have to first enjoy it for some time, and then maybe I will decide to do something with it. Okay, now rusty touches. I'm just checking if I didn't miss anything, but I don't think so. Okay, one more clean brush. A bit of carmine. Yeah, carmine is going to be hero of the day. Too much. I think because this is going to be so orange, I will try to mix it with a bit of crimson. Oh, yeah, that looks quite promising. So it's going to be a little bit more in the warmer tone because of these pink details. It's going to be probably a little bit better this way. I probably will need to add a bit of silver because I went too far, but this is not a problem. Or maybe not. Yeah, it is whimsical. It is something. The Christmas unicorn. Oh, yeah, that sounds perfect. Christmas unicorns unite. I believe there should be something for Christmas unicorns as well, like a special. I'm surprised there are no Christmas unicorns yet. Totally, they should exist. I think so. I'm already a fan of that idea. Brown. Tiny bit of brown to cool it down. Burnt sienna. To compare if it's going to be better. Now trying not to drip on the head. Which may be a challenge. Yeah, but we are doing a good job. Now the little bit of the rust on the bells. No, this is not rust, this is crimson. It's like the most challenging part. Not to drip on the white fur. Christmas unicorn, that would be totally something. No, we don't want rusty antlers. No, thank you. No, thank you. No rusty antlers. Okay, so I think we are almost there with the final look. Now I need to repeat the same thing on the other side. Ta-da-dum. Yeah, the bells, it was a great idea. I'm so grateful I got them. This is going to be a bit more grungy side. No, we're not expecting to have dirty belly. Sorry, if you get seasickness, please forgive me. One side, the other. Ta-da-dum, ta-da-dum. Now I'm just thinking, should I add the glitter bit or not? I quite like the grunginess of it. So I think maybe not. He's very special. Oh, thank you. Well, these are very red. I have to do something with that. It's a little bit like a vampire now. Vampire reindeer. That is something new. It was too dark. Luckily, you can always do a little bit of the metallic white. You know what? I really love it. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Let's have a look at the guys. Okay, it's not, it's time to stop. I'm doing the reindeer makeup. This is really bad. So let's have a look at everything, and in short words I will just remind you what I did. And of course you can come back anytime and watch it step by step. I think we're going to do a tiny bit of glitter on the mousse and on this one, just to compare. I have glitter in the kind of like goldish tone, would be okay. Like this one. Moroccan menagerie. Looks like I miss a spot here. This is fine glitter. Yeah, we all have sense of humor. I don't really know people who don't have sense of humor, but I heard they exist. You should try whatever you want to do. You know how it is. And then you're going to regret you didn't do it. Just a bit of glitter. Because this guy was very, very shiny. Oh. Oh. So beautiful. Unfortunately, so beautiful. Well, this is much more Christmassy now than steampunk. Oh, shiny, shiny. Do you want some? Yes, you do. Of course, you don't want to be worse than your half-brother. I'm just adding a little bit, so it is going to create nice look, but not overwhelming. So the wings have a bit of the glitter. And a little bit on the antlers. And that means our handsome albino boy maybe it should have a chance to get some glitter as well. But I have to get the right color for you. Something really like white, maybe with a bit of pink. Like this. Oh, you found us. I think you need a little bit on the antlers. For the magic. Hello, Vasilis. It's quite late. Wow. Well, this is very, very magical. I love the glitter on the Christmas and winter projects. And here just a little bit, just on the wing. Okay, he is magical. Ah. This iridescent glitter. I believe there are some people who hate glitter, but honestly, I don't think there's anything better. Let me dry it. Of course, the most work was with the albino. Squeak button. Yeah, there should be something like that for us. I sometimes feel like that as well. So I will try to give you a quick recap because we have some people who join us late. So I will be able to explain what was done with each of them. Oh, you have so much of the glitter on your back. Sorry. Okay, I try to be careful. So let's start with the smaller guys. I promise that I'm going to alter these to the same way as I prepared the one for patrons before. So I was showing you the color combination. And this was all starting with 2 figurines like that. And a good coat of black gesso, which I can't find anymore. Oh, here it is. It was primed with black gesso, so we can stick the things easier. And then using combination of hot glue and heavy body gel, we glued the elements on. So the wings and the mechanicals. After that, we painted with black gesso, and then we used the waxes. On this one, it was Bronze Age and Old Silver. And on this one, it was white gold and rich copper, which I have here in tin because I couldn't find any other. After that, we did a bit of the rusty touches using liquid acrylics in black, in carmine, and maybe a little bit of tiger orange. And then finally, using the glitter and soft gel, we added the sprinkles of the magical finish. And here they are. This is deer number 1, the reindeer. And here is the moose, which was very gold before, but now it is much more steampunk. You know, it's up to you if you want to add the glitter, but because it is more or less Christmas project, I decided to go with the glitter. Magical finish. So these were the options here. For the albino, which was my new idea, and I really wanted to do albino, we started a little bit differently because the original was white already, and albino, here is the albino, was white. So we started with the clear gesso to make it all matte and easy to work on. Then we used heavy body gel and hot glue to attach the wings and on the embellishments. Then we used white paint because it was much more convenient. So white impasto to paint the embellishments. And after everything was white, we added the brushed iron wax on the top of the wings. Not the graphite, brushed iron wax on the top of the wings. Once we had all the metal parts, forgot. And then of course we did the pink tone, which was combination of 2 colors in metallic. That was pink blush and spring blossom together to create the color for the feet, for the nose, and for a little bit of the belly and the back. So this was the color that was going to be doing the albino color. Also the antlers were painted this way. Once we have that, we started brushing white pearl acrylic together with impasto white if it was not covering enough. Here you just have to see how white you want to go and how far they go. Sometimes if this is not covering enough, I was starting with white impasto and then adding some of the white pearl. Of course we dried it, and after it was dried, then we could work on the shadows and on the rusty touches. So that was black liquid acrylic, carmine, a little bit of orange, and I also added crimson because this has a little bit more of the pinkish tone in it. And I was playing with that until I got the rustiness I liked. And finally we did final touches with the iridescent glitter and the soft gel. That is more or less what was happening here. And I can see Vasilis was asking the question. You added the liquid after the waxes, you said? Yes, I did, but remember, you can do it only in a small amount. For the highlights, you should not do it on the large amount, on the large projects, because it's not going to be successful. Thank you very much for the donation I got today. It is just lovely to get something. So Gina, thank you so much. And all of you who gave me a tip for my work. Sorry. So that is great that we could do it together. And please remember, if you would like to see more of the tutorials like that, you can join me as my patron on Patreon, and this way you'll get almost like Finnabair flicks, almost like Netflix, paid once a month, and you get minimum 2 tutorials per month this way, and personal contact in the lovely group. In fact, a lot of you are my patrons already. So if you'd like to join, it's very, very easy. In the video description, there is the link, and you have the access to all the previous content as well. Thank you, Missy Lulu. Thank you. Oh, you're so kind. So this is the place where we create similar way as I'm doing now with you. There are streams or they're pre-recorded videos. I usually try to keep it in balance. So there's like one stream and one video. Sometimes I do more streams during the month as well. And of course, if you want more, there are more options. You can go on the higher tier, so you get more of the tutorials and more of the benefits, and so on and so on. So I highly recommend, if you would like to be more up to date with my latest creations, you can support me this way, and it's a lot of stuff you get in the package. So if you join now, you get tutorials starting in May, I think it was May, so you can imagine how many videos is waiting for you. And some of them are tutorials like that, and some of them are classes about creating good composition or acrylic paint information like last month or March. Oh my God. So surely starting with April. So you have a lot of content. You can watch it anytime you long. As long as you keep your subscription active, you have the access to it. So this is really like Netflix. And of course, visit my website. This is finnabair.com, and then 2 times per week, my wonderful talented design team is making the projects videos for you. So they're tutorials 2 times a week, and they're here on YouTube as well. And my design team members were here today as well. Anat was here, but also they're my brand ambassadors. I want to thank for the support. Olga, Nunu, Vasilis, they are all my ambassadors, so they know quite a lot about the product. If you know them in person, if you have any questions, you can always ask them as well. I really highly recommend Patreon, because this is the best way to get access to the online classes if you'd like to get that. And you start at, if you start at €10 per month plus tax, you get 2 videos per month minimum and the access to previous ones. So I think it's a great deal. Maybe you need Christmas present. Just to remind you, yay! Just to remind you, tomorrow there is a video for live stream for supporters on my Patreon, €50 and more. So the special exclusive one for the tiny group of the supporters. And on Monday, you see me again on Facebook Live. It's really making the sound. On the Facebook Live, I will be doing some kind of home decor. I have no idea what yet. I'm terrible at making Christmas decorations. I don't like bubbles, balls. I don't like bubbles. I don't like all these things that much. So I will have to come with something. And that is going to be the same time. So 7 p.m. of my time, 8 p.m. of Central European time, 2 p.m. Eastern time, on Facebook group Redesign with Prima. So I will be so happy to see you on my Patreon page. If you, oh, for t-shirts, guys, like, no pressure, right? Like, I just made the pouches, so I will have to find about the t-shirts and jackets. Like, oh my. So I want to say I'm very grateful for your support and for watching it. And if you'd like to see more, there are options. I gave you all the information. Now I would want one as well. And please check our YouTube channel, which is Finnabair Art Files. These are the tutorials made by my talented design team. And check my Instagram, Finnabair, and Finnabair Studio, two accounts, and check us on Facebook. Please join and follow, because this is the easiest way to get all the information up to date, and they like to take away our information quickly. So if you follow, make sure that you subscribe for the updates, and give me the thumbs up for the video if you didn't do it yet, please, because I think you enjoyed. I need it, like, and this is group pressure. Now I have to think about the t-shirts. I will take the photo of the albino in hopefully tomorrow, if not on Sunday, depending how much time I have, because tomorrow I have to get ready for the Patreon stream as well. Hoodies. So the photos will be posted on my Instagram, and I will post on Facebook and on the Patreon page as well, of course. And I will be giving you more. I will try to make a product list again. It's what was used for this project. So thank you so much, guys. Hoodies, okay. Now I have to start looking to goal for the new year. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you for the tips. Thank you for supporting me on Patreon, because you are the main reason I'm able to stay at home and create. You really help me do my dream job now. I work from home and I create for people. This is the best thing that may happen. And I'm able to create projects, and I'm able to create products as well. So thank you so much. You made the miracle happen. And thanks to your support, I'm able to give so much more to everybody. And thank you also for visiting the video, watching it, and I hope you enjoyed. And if you would like to share it with your friends who may be interested in these techniques, not just for Christmas, because this is a really universal kind of alteration idea, please do it. Share the video, give them the information, it is all waiting for them. Thanks to that, no, please. Thanks to that, people will see it. The problem is, of course, if it's not supported, if it's not shared, it's not easy to find, unfortunately. T-shirts, yeah. Okay, I hear it. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Huge thanks from Reindeers and the Moose. And now we have my special albino friend. I have no idea it is going to be so popular now. Now we have to have a special mascot, albino. So thank you for watching. Thank you for support. Thank you for a great time together. And to some of you, see you tomorrow. So we have a date, the same place, and I'm going to be sending the link 15 minutes before the show. Bye. Thank you. Good night. Thank you so much for watching again. Hopefully that was inspiring. I love you too. I love you too, guys. See you. Bye.